You jump into your car on a freezing cold morning, hoping for the cabin to warm up quickly and the windshield to defrost. But the air stays lukewarm and the engine feels sluggish, almost like it is struggling to breathe properly. If your check engine light is on and you find the code P048C, you're dealing with an issue in the exhaust pressure control valve position sensor or switch circuit. This might sound like a mouthful, but it is actually a very clever system used mostly in diesel engines and some modern gas engines to help with cold weather performance. The exhaust pressure control valve, or EPC, is a solenoid-controlled valve that purposely restricts the exhaust flow slightly. This creates back pressure, which makes the engine work a little harder and heat up faster. It is brilliant for cold starts and getting your cabin heater working quickly. The code P048C means your powertrain control module, the PCM, has detected a performance problem or a signal that is out of range within this circuit. It is seeing data that does not match what it expects from the intake air temperature sensor or the manifold absolute pressure sensor. When this happens, the computer often disables the system to play it safe, which is why you might notice hard starting or poor performance. To fix this, you need to be methodical. Start with the basics. Locate the exhaust pressure control valve and check the wiring harness going to it. Because this valve is on the exhaust side, it gets incredibly hot. It is very common to find wires that have become brittle and cracked from the heat cycles. If the wires look okay, you need to test the solenoid itself. Disconnect the connector and grab your digital multimeter. Set it to ohms to measure resistance. You want to touch your meter probes to the pins on the solenoid valve itself. Compare the number you see on the screen with the factory specifications for your specific vehicle. If your meter says OL, which stands for out of limits, it means the internal coil of the solenoid is broken and you need a new valve. If the valve tests okay, you need to check the power supply. With the ignition on and the engine off, carefully check the harness side of the connector to see if you are getting 12 volts or whatever voltage your manual specifies. Also, check the ground side for continuity to the chassis. If you have power, ground, and a good solenoid, but the code persists, you might have a rare issue with the computer itself or an open circuit in the signal wire going back to the PCM. But 9 times out of 10, you will find a melted wire or a failed solenoid valve is the villain here. Fixing this not only clears that annoying light, but makes your winter drives much more comfortable and helps your engine run smoother during those critical warm-up minutes.